180!
One. Hi lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. As you can see, we've refitted this room out and we've made it into a little bit of a recording studio. I think it's going to make the videos a little bit better. So as you can see where your donations are going, everything's getting made so as it makes the videos a bit better. Right, so today's subject is we're going right back to basics. As you've heard me say on many occasions, if you have a bit of a fall to bits, if you have something that's wrong with your throw, go back to basics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a series of basics videos. We're going to take it right back to the beginning, strip it right back to the bones. So basically from when you first start to play darts. So we're going back to that stage and we're just going to do a bit of a recap and a bit of a refresh for the new subscribers, and plenty of people have been asking me, and obviously they've not looked through the videos and found the old ones, but what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start remaking the old ones and taking the old ones off, so that you've got less amount of videos with all the same sort of subject on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make new videos all the way from where we first start off right the way up to advanced, and we'll start that with this video, which is going to be all about the basics. So here we go. This is what you do when you first start to play darts. You've been out to wherever you go for your dart stuff, which probably Sports Direct or somewhere like that. If you're mum and dad, or you've bought yourself, or you've been watching the lads in the pub, doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 10 or whether you're 70. What you've got to start off with is you need three basic fundamental parts to start yourself off with darts. Obviously, first and foremost, you need a dartboard, because you can't play darts without a dartboard. Secondly, what you need is a set of darts. So you can go to somewhere like Sports Direct, Darts Corner if you want to order it offline, eBay, wherever you want to go. There's loads of different places you can go and get your equipment. What I would stress to you is if you're going to take up darts and you're enthusiastic about it, you've watched it on the telly and you want to become a good player right from the off, I mean, if you just want to fling the darts at the board, you can just go and buy yourself a cheap one. I personally would advise you to go and buy a good quality dartboard. The reason being is it'll last you years. You can turn it every couple of weeks if you're hammering it. If you're not and you're leaving it in the house, it'll just sit there and nothing will happen to it. If you buy some of these cheap ones, they start to explode and fall to bits and all sorts of things without you even touching them. But if you buy a proper quality one from somewhere, I wouldn't personally advise you to go and buy one from a big retailer that starts with an A and finishes with a GOS, because their boards tend to fall to bits. I've had a few of them now, and people say that they're not substandard, they're not this, they're not that. I believe they're built to a price, which is what any business would do. They go to big manufacturers and say to them, we want to buy 25,000 dartboards off you, but we want you to get them to a certain price. And the only way they can do that is by making them out of cheaper material, or making them in a cheaper manner, so they've got less amount of processes in them, so the board actually costs less to make, so they can sell it cheaper. So personally what I do is I buy either offline, or I'm fortunate enough now to have a lot of stuff sent to me. But like I say, when I go and buy them, I actually go and buy them from a reputable place like Darts Corner, Perfect Darts, Red Dragon, any of these. And obviously there isn't only, the ones that I tend to use is the Windmill Blade 5 at the moment. Obviously a Blade 6 will probably come out at some point, which I'll go to. The technology just moves on, but to be honest with you, you can get a Windmill Blade 4 at a lot cheaper price, and they're just as good a board. In my opinion, they're just as good a board. I think the only difference really is the colouring on them. These are a bit more HD, if you know what I mean. So there's 2 out of your 3 fundamentals that you need. A good dartboard with a surround, because believe me, when you first start playing, the other good tip and all what you can do is, even on a wall like this, when you put your dartboard up, hang a curtain behind it. Just put a curtain behind it and you'll find that when the darts hit it, they don't go through into the wall. So that'll save your wall until you actually get proficient. As you can see, there's no holes in my wall, there isn't even any holes in this surround. But when you first start playing, believe me, you'll miss the board quite regularly. And like I say, great thing to do, hang either a piece of thing, a curtain, sorry, either hang a curtain or a piece of carpet or something like that behind the board and just drape it down the wall. Don't worry about what it looks like, because it don't matter at first. And then when you get to a point where you don't hit the wall anymore, just remove the carpet or the curtain, and then you've got a nice setup like this. Number 3, obviously we've talked about the board and the darts. Number 3 is getting an hockey on the floor and getting it marked out properly, and getting the distance from the board to the hockey out exactly right.
The board on the wall needs to be 5 feet 8 inches to the bullseye. Must be 5'8" to the bullseye. Where you need to measure from for your hockey is from the face of the board, which is here where your darts touch it. Not the wall here, the face of the board. Now I hear you say, how do you do that? Well, what you need is a plumb line. So you can run a plumb line down onto the floor, or even easier still is my trusty
string. Your trusty string works fantastic. This, I mean, you can make this out of very, very heavy gauge fishing line, something like braid, fishing braid, fantastic, something like 60-pound braid, 70-pound braid, because then it won't stretch. This does stretch a tiny little bit, but obviously when you know you've marked it, when you know you've made it, you know how to do it. So all you do, dead simple, is you tie a knot in the end of it. There, you put a measurement from there, 5 feet 8 inches to your first mark. As you can see, I've put a mark on there which is 5 feet 8 inches, so you can hang that in the board and test that your board's the right height. Fantastic this, because you can use it in the pub to make sure that the board's at the right height, because a lot of them have a sliding mount, so you can actually move the board up and down, and because they've got the sliding mount, some people just put the board on, tighten it up and leave the board at the bottom, which is obviously nowhere near. Right, now the ingenious bit of this is from the hole again, mark along 115 inches, sorry, 115.5 inches, so 115.5 inches, and put another mark on it. This works really well because over very small distances, so if the board is ½ an inch high or an inch high, this will work just as well, because if you measure your 115.5 inches out, if the board's slightly high, it'll make the hockey slightly nearer, so it'll sort of like compensate for it. Obviously if it's ridiculously out, then you're still going to be out, but I found it works really well, and this is how to use it. All you do is get your dart and put your dart in the middle of the bullseye. Put your dart right in the middle of the bullseye. Pull your string down so it just touches the face of the board, straight down to the floor. First mark 5 foot 8 inches, so that's correct. So what we do is we get the dart in the centre of the board. Don't pull it too tight. Get your thumb on your mark and pull your thumb down till it touches the hockey. On this one, it's on the first rib, so I can actually feel my toe on it. So that's on the first rib of this. Where you want this to be, this mark is on the face of where you put your toe on the hockey. So that's your 115.5 inches to where you put your toe on the hockey, with just a nice pull on the string, not so as it'll pull the dart out, just so as it's nice and straight. And as you can see, that one there goes onto this first lip here, which is where I slide my foot up to. Right, so then, obviously, you've got your board at the right height from the floor, you've got your hockey the right distance away from the thing. It's dead simple. You can use a piece of tape on the floor, a piece of gaffer tape or something like that to start off with, as long as you put a mark on it to make sure you get your feet in exactly the right place every time. That is absolutely imperative, is getting your stance correct and getting yourself into the same spot every time you come to the board. And all we do with this is we just wind it up like this, and it goes back in the case. And then it's always usable wherever you go. You can always check the board for somebody if they want it checking. If you're playing a competition, you're quite entitled to ask to have the board checked. Quite entitled. There's plenty of times you'll see on the telly where whoever's playing will turn around and say, I don't like the board, it needs moving and it just has to be moved. It's exactly the same in the pub. If you go and the board isn't right, then ask for the board to be put right. Simple as that.
Right, so now what we've done is we've come to the point where we're actually going to start throwing darts at the board. So the next section will be about your first visits and the way to set yourself up and how to get those fundamentals correct. Right lads and lasses, thanks for watching the first in the video series of Back to Basics, how to set the board up and everything. There's going to be 3 or 4 videos in this series about getting the fundamentals right, starting right from the beginning. Nice chronological order of how to do it and how to get progress from A, which is where you first start, up to probably C or D, where you're becoming a proficient dart player. So if you would like to like, subscribe and donate, don't forget how we keep this channel going is through your very generous donations. I think you'll probably agree in the last 3 or 4 months the channel has come on leaps and bounds, and that's all because of your very generous donations and also your contributions. So thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and as I say, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification button so as you get every time a new video comes up, then it'll automatically flag it up so you can watch it straight away. So thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and don't forget lads and lasses, as I always say, you will only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always toe to the hockey.
Game, shot and match to Dynamite Dave.